Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Painted Arrow podcast. I got Devin Cole here. This is going to be episode 3 and probably the final episode of the Moment series because we got a lot to share today. It's going to be a long episode, but this is going to be like a good old fashioned deer killing story filled of just some failed attempts, some success, very much some highs, very much some lows. Just like a big summation of like our Moment series in general. And to give a recap of what the Moment series is, it always like goes like a little long. Like we say it's going to be the 1st through the 9th, and like one of us is struggling and it ends up going like 5-6 days after until
it ebbs and flows for sure. Yeah.
But I know a lot of people have been following along with this because people have reached out to me and said, hey, I'm listening to Moment series episode 2 or whatever. Mm-hmm. We've done a lot better. I'm not going to lie. In the past, we've done like 6 or 7 episodes where we tell a lot more gritty detail, but they're typically shorter, like 20-minute episodes. But we're going to give a pretty good recap because the last time we were on here was like, I think it was the 5th or 6th or 7th.
No, it was the 7th.
Was it?
It was the 7th.
It was the 7th. Because I think we recorded it the day before and put it out the 7th.
Really? Let me look at that.
It went live on the 7th. That's for sure. So basically, the last episode, I would go listen to it.
The 7th.
We talked about
the 7th was a Friday. Okay, yeah. We recorded it on the afternoon of the 6th. Went hunting right away,
and then it went out on the 7th,
and then we hunted again on the 7th. Yeah. We're not on the 7th.
So basically, this is going to be stories and tales from the 7th of November to the 16th of November.
Wow. When you sum it up like that.
That's what this is. That's what we have to share. And there's a couple of things for both of us that really stand out that we're going to take some time to kind of share and break down and talk about in detail. But
yeah, I mean, if you zoom back to jump back to the 7th, there was one tag filled at that point. I had a tag filled.
Yeah.
You had 2 tags left. I had a tag left.
That's right. It's amazing. I've had I'm not going to go into my thing yet, but I'm just telling you in the last few days, just to give a little peek, a little foreshadow. Like I just don't. Every year, it's like you have to like relearn the same lessons. Because it's so easy to get sour and bitter and negative and mentally ill. Like you have to stay
mentally ill.
Like you have to stay in it and trust in the process. And what I mean, like professional football players, right? Mm-hmm. The good teams, they're doing the same things every day and they're preparing for like that Super Bowl. That's not even close. It's 365 days away, but they're doing the same thing and they're trusting in their process. They're stretching.
That's right.
The nutrition plan, like whatever. And it's like every year I have to relearn that because for us, the season is so finite. It's so small and short and quick. And I don't know. That's what I'm blown away by.
You can be in the moment and I cannot see this happening. Like it's so hard to remind yourself that, especially in the rut, everything can change in the matter of seconds. But in that moment, it's like, I can't picture this happening sometimes. And then literally seconds. And the whole season can flip.
It's pretty amazing. So let's go back. We recorded on the 6th. We posted last on the 7th. That was episode 2. Yeah. And we talked about a miss that I had, shot under a deer. We talked about a sit that we had together. We saw a doe bred by a really mature buck that we just couldn't get to. Mm-hmm. You killed a really nice 9-point that called out of the food plot. And then, like you said, at that point, when that episode ended, there was one tag that had been filled, which was you. We had 3 to go, 2 for me, 1 for you, in the state of Michigan on the Moment Series, trying to get it done in 9 days, what we originally set out to do, the 1st of November through the 9th.
Right.
So here we go, hunting on the 7th. I don't think we had a good
7th,
hunt.
I'm trying to remember. 7th was a Friday. And I don't exactly remember what we did.
I took off the morning, and actually, I don't think I hunted on the 7th. I was doing family stuff on the 7th, but you and I both went out on the 8th. And that's where I think we should start.
You're 100% right. We were both fired up to hunt the 7th because it's a holy day. And then neither one of us hunted the morning or night, I think.
I didn't hunt that day. I remember telling my wife, like, honey, this, for me to be, like, I was kind of trying to joke around a little bit. I was like, for me to not be out in the woods right now, just tells you how much I love it. And she's like, shut up.
Don't patronize me.
But the 8th is, so the 8th, I went to the property that I had previously owned.
Mm-hmm.
And I was out there early. I had literally packed everything for an all-day sit. Peanut butter and jellies, granola bars, the whole thing.
Good water. Attitude. Got everything with you. Yeah,
going in deep. Like, I haven't been there, I don't even think, one time. This is my first sit.
That was the first sit. You had sent your dad out there, I think, once.
And it's a beautiful spot. I mean, like, that morning was crisp. Deer cast was showing hot.
That morning was hot. There was like a little bit of wind cover. It was cold.
Yeah. It was brisk.
Well, like, I remember I also hunted that morning, but I got in a little early. And when it was cracking daylight and the wind started whipping just a little, I remember thinking, if a deer comes close, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it killed. Like, I was just like,
oh, I wasn't that bad.
I don't think, maybe I'm thinking of the night before or something, but I had a hunt right around that time where I was like shaking in my boots and I was underdressed for sure. And I'm like, gosh, if the buck reads the script right now, I'm not going to be able to get it done because I can't move.
So tell me what happened that morning.
Well, let's see. So you were going to Hallenbeck or wherever the other farm was, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I decided to hunt my home farm, and I was going out to the creek. I was making the long trek to the back. And I've typically hunted this spot more on a west wind because there's a lot of good cover to my west, and I like hunting it with a wind coming out of that cover. But this morning in particular, I had more of a north kind of blowing more in my face right back over this creek. Still pretty good for that spot. And so tried it. And this spot is hard to get to. So I really don't like going there without any wind cover because you just feel like you can't get in there stealthy at all if there's no wind cover. Yeah. So I had a little, like even like 8, in the 9, dark in the morning. Yeah. Like it was still windy. So that made me feel decent. And so I'm hiking through this canary grass and I get in probably almost a full hour before it's going to start cracking daylight.
Right.
So I'm up there saying my prayers and doing the whole thing. And I mean, the minute that it cracks legal shooting light, for me, it was like somebody flipped a switch. Like behind me on the other edge of the creek there's a young buck walking the edge, like looking for hot dough. Like he's got his nose to the ground. He's kind of looks like one of those coon dogs that's hot on the trail. You know what I mean? Like there's something in the area. So he's working the other edge of the creek. And it's like, no matter where I look, I just start seeing deer pop up and I'm just like, holy cow, like we're in it. So right tight close to me, I have a couple of bucks, a young forkhorn or something like that. And then what would have been a really nice 10-point or a pretty nice 10-point, but he had half a rack. He pops out right in front of me. They're both milling around and they kind of end up working off, but there was, I didn't even tell you this part. There's a buck I have not seen all season that I got a picture of during the summer that was really cool. This seems to be a genetic where I'm hunting, but he's tight and tall. But one side, he just had all this crazy stuff going on. And I'll show you the photo later, but not just like a club, but like it looks like somebody's hand almost. Like he just has this weird like points and crap going all over on one side.
Yeah.
I saw that deer. And I was calling to him, and he was committed, and he was coming in. I was gonna kill him like just after first light. So I see that buck. He like wanted to commit, definitely liked or was interested with the calling, but just couldn't get himself to come all the way over there. So anyway, but there's just bucks kind of everywhere this morning, and I think
on the 8th, we're still on the 8th. We're gonna be on the 8th here for a minute.
I'm sorry. Yeah. So I just think there was a hot doe in the area based on how these bucks are acting.
Yeah.
And I hadn't seen her yet, but I'm just like, there's got to be a hot doe either just come through here or she's in that thick stuff somewhere. Well, at some point I look up and I glass way out and I see a really, really nice buck. Like one I've never had a chance at with my bow before type thing. I'm like, holy cow. Like one of those ones where it's just a no doubter. Like you get them in your glass and you're like, yep, that's one that I'll come on through. So I pull the glass up and drop it right back down. I'm like, I got to call that deer.
Come on through.
So he's sort of already naturally working my direction, but sort of quartering into the thick stuff. And I called to him a couple times just to let him know, hey, come back here and check this out. And he stops and looks up and very much acknowledges it and starts marching my way. So I'm like, oh, here we go. We're probably 20, 30, 40 minutes after daylight at this point. Well, maybe 5-10 minutes before I had spotted this buck, a doe all by herself, not trailed by a buck, had worked out of this thick stuff directly in front of me. Like from if I'm facing north, she came out from straight west to straight east on a line, just maybe 50, 60 yards out in front of me. All by herself. Like I said, no buck, no nothing. So anyway, back to this buck. He's working towards me and he's coming up the call. But at some point he hits that doe's scent trail and he turns the direction that she had just went towards the east. And he literally puts his nose to the ground like a dog. And I'm literally not exaggerating. I watched this deer run that scent trail. I'm in a big swamp bottom, so I can see a really long way. I watch him run 800 to 1,000 yards. Like he might as well have run into another zip code. I couldn't even believe I could still see him. And I'm just watching him run out of my life. And I'm like, dang, that's a nice buck, but holy cow, like I'm never going to see him again.
And when you first saw him, like, he's on yours.
He's on mine, yeah.
He's like on your property.
He was up in my food plot, checking the food plot for does, and then just came, started marching right back. So, yeah, I mean, I was like,
that's discouraging. It's because that spot, we've talked about it, not to go into too much depth and off topic, but like you can see a long way, and typically you can see them and you get excited, but you're not in the game at all.
It seems like historically a lot of the action, particularly with the big mature bucks, is on the other side of the creek, sort of in this isolated island area where it's like nobody can get to these deer. Of course, they're going to take the does there. But this year, it seemed like I had a couple hot does early on my side of the creek, which all the bucks were over there. So anyway, I'm watching this deer just run to the next county. And I'm like, dang, that sucks. And maybe 5-10 minutes goes by again, and I'm just kind of still looking around and glassing, and I look back over this direction, and I'm like, no way, there's a deer running full speed back my direction, right where I'd seen this deer last. I look over there, and it's this buck. Like he got all the way over there and decided there was no hot doe at the end of the trail, I think. I don't know. I haven't called again, but my theory is like he got to the end of that trail. There was no hot doe, and he comes hauling tail back. again, I don't know if he's thinking, okay, there's no hot doe here, but there was some calling and some commotion going on over there. So let me go see what that's about. I don't know. But he's taking that same trail that he just ran 800 yards on, and he's running it back.
He's running it back.
And I'm thinking, okay, so I'm going to wait for him to get close enough to be in earshot, and then I'm going to call one more time. Not a ton, but just a couple calls just to let him know what you heard earlier is still going on over here.
At what point did you call? Like when he was 120 yards out, 150 yards out?
Yeah, a couple hundred, somewhere in there.
But you were calling right at him like, bah.
I was kind of tucking behind the tree and trying to throw the sound a little, but yeah, essentially. Didn't rattle, just grunted. And he stops and looks. He's like looking over there. So he very clearly is associated with where that sound came from. He was already running this general direction. So I'm like, okay, I got him. Well, when I did that sequence of calls to let him know, I look back to my left, and that stinking half rack 10 point, who has been hanging around all morning. Like, he tried to bust me earlier. He just won't leave. He steps back out of that thick stuff at like under 20 yards, right underneath me. He's locked onto me in the tree, like he had seen me doing the calling.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's just like head bobbing, trying to bust me. And so I have my bow in my hand. I've got the Mag Pro on. I'm rolling. I'm tucked in, hiding behind the tree in my saddle.
You're in you're doing what you dream about all year. Like, you call to an animal, you got the Mag Pro rolling. You're like, it can happen.
It can happen. But now, the last time I've seen the big buck, he's running my direction, a couple hundred yards away. But like I said, I did the sequence of calls, turned back, grabbed my bow, threw the phone on. Like, this is going to happen. And when I had done all that, that's when he saw me and watched me do that. This other separate deer. So now he's locked onto me. I'm like in my saddle. I got my bow kind of sitting on my knee.
Yep, been there.
I've got the phone on the Mag Pro.
Yep. You're locked on.
I'm locked on. I'm trying, like, I want to just be holding my release, but it's freezing. My hands are frozen. So I can't even remember if I'm holding my release or if I've got my hand in my pocket. But anyway, I can't move.
Mm-hmm.
What I want to be doing is like sort of craning around the tree to see because the tree is directly, I'm saddle hunting. The tree's directly between me and where this big buck is coming from.
You can't see the big buck.
I can't see him. So ordinarily I'd be like peeking around to try to see when he's coming. Can't do that. So I decide, okay, if this other buck busts me and blows, the jig's up. Like, the gig's up. I cannot let this deer bust me. And he's actively trying, head bobbing, like trying to get me. So I'm just like sitting there basically praying. But my thought is, okay, if I cannot move and I can just sit here and stare at the body language of this young buck, in theory, his body language is going to tell me when this big buck's getting close.
Yeah.
Because it's a big, mature deer. Like, there's no question this young deer is going to he's going to tell the story to me. So I'm sitting there. That's what my head's telling me. And I'm in a standoff with this buck. And I'm just staring at him. And it felt like it was 5-10 minutes. But all of a sudden, he still hasn't really broken eyes with me. But all of a sudden, like, it was like somebody let the air out of his balloon. Like, his ears flop backwards. And he kind of like looks like halfway away from me. And I'm like, that buck's got to be getting close. And right out in front of me, like, again, hidden behind the tree, like, it's like he just walks out from behind this tree, 50 some yards. And I'm trying to think, like, okay, is he going to stay on that line? I'm going to have to try to get a longer shot. Nope. He turns quarters right towards me and comes over to walk off this small buck. Like, it kind of worked out like that buck was my decoy.
Oh, yeah.
So he comes walking through to walk him off. He gets to 27 yards.
And this bigger deer is walking in between you and the other one?
Correct. Yep. At this point, he is.
Because he kind of bounded or something?
No. The little buck never bounded. He was locked. He was just locked onto me somewhere around
so he 20, literally
20 to 30 yards.
He decoyed, basically.
He literally decoyed.
It's great.
He was locked onto me for most of it until that big buck got close, and then they sort of got the attention of one another. And then I didn't have to do anything. They were focused on each other. But the big buck had come in, and he was quartering in to me to walk off this other deer. Well, he gets to like 26 yards and he looks straight up in the tree at me. At least I thought that's what he was doing. But he looked for maybe 2 seconds and then kind of licked his lips, put his head down, took 2 steps, maybe a step and a half, and then like tried to look back up like, gotcha. And still didn't get me. And then like licked his lips again, put his head down, just decided I was nothing. Took like 3 more steps. And at this point, he's getting pretty close to the other buck. And now they're like very focused on one another. And so I was like, I still felt like out of the corner of my eye, he could see me draw, but I'm like, they're too focused on each other. And so at that point I drew.
How did you know the range? Did you pre-range?
I had ranged a couple times before. So I had my rangefinder on the Ready Mag. And once they could finally see each other and they weren't just intently focused on me, as he's walking, I'm like peeling it off the Ready Mag and just kind of ranging the trail. Just because I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to kill him, but I'm like, I need some general. So I'm like, the trail he's on is 25.
You're using the Ready Mag.
Ready Mag. And I can't move.
So you're using it for its purpose.
100%.
I like that.
So the last time I ranged him, he was at 25. He's kind of quartering now away on a trail. Takes a handful more steps. I'm like, that's got to be 26, 27 yards based on 2 steps ago. I draw. I stop him. And I double lung him. And he whirly wops through the thick stuff, comes flying back out, and I literally watched this deer drop in 60 yards. And I'm like, no freaking way that just happened. And I freaked out in the tree. I've shot a lot of deer with my bow. I've never shot that caliber of buck with my bow. And I think it's well documented on this podcast. Like, I've just been wanting to shoot a 3-year-old or better with my bow. And you just don't get a lot of opportunities to be that close to. And I don't know if this deer's a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old. I don't know. We're going to get him aged and I'll report back. But he has a big, heavy 8-point side, massy. And then he's got like a club on the other side. So it kind of goes straight up. It forks at the end. And then he has a super long brow tine as well. But just a cool, gnarly old Michigan swamp buck. And then he had another point on the club side that grew backwards like into his head. Yeah. And he had this nasty like pussy infection. It grew like right into his ear. But yeah, I mean, I couldn't even believe it happened. I was freaking out. And I start hammering the phone calling you. And it's like I call you once, and I think you like forwarded the call. Like it rang once, and you forwarded the call, and I'm like, "Oh, you're gonna do me like that right now?" And then I think I might have even tried again.
Well, sometimes like when we're doing these series, like you and I, we call each other the night before. It's like, "Hey, where are you going? Mm-hmm. What are you doing?" And it was like an unspoken, like we didn't talk really, but we both knew we were going out, where we were going. And like for me to go where I was going, like I had to get up at 4 a.m. because I had to like prep everything. It's a long drive out. So I was planning to be there from dawn until dusk. Yeah. So it was like, I was busy. You were busy. Like we both kind of knew like it's a kill day. Like this is one of the top days of the year for buck activity. And so it was like, we didn't really talk that morning. I don't think we talked the night before on the 7th because we both weren't hunting. It was just like, that was the first time we had talked. And so kind of to your point, I was like doing my thing. Like I was just kind of recap on that morning for me, like long drive, like I'm trying to get my coffee in. Cause I was just trying to get totally ready. Like I was trying to have my bowel movements. Like I was planning to sit up in the tree the whole day. And I'm going in deep to one of my best spots. Nobody's hunted it all year except for my dad up in the front a little bit. And I'm like, this is as good as an opportunity as it ever could have. And I remember that morning I was going to go to a specific spot, and I get there and the wind was like swirling bad. Get all the way up in the stand, make a bunch of noise, get down. I got all the way down.
Why?
I treed and I got down.
In your saddle?
Yeah.
Why?
because I was hunting down near this swamp system, and the wind was exactly the opposite of where I thought it was going to be coming.
So you made a setup and then decided to not sit there.
Correct. It was wild. Because like this
but you're sitting there thinking,
this is wrong.
I'm going to be here all day. I can't just have a wrong setup.
This swamp system, like the wind can do that. I've seen it where it sometimes plays direct, but often it's not even close. And so I was waiting for the specific wind to go to the spot, but it was wrong. So I get up there, I'm like the deer where they come from, like it's going exactly where this wind is pushing it. So I'm like, I'm getting down. I get down, make a bunch of noise, and go to another spot.
That sucks.
It sucked.
But but again, like I'm here all day, dawn to dusk. Like it's got to be right.
Yeah. And they didn't blow at me, but I bumped 2 deer going in totally different spots. Don't know if they're bucks, don't know if they're does, but in your mind, you're thinking, frick, I just messed it up. Whatever. That's a big 10 point that I just bumped out. And so anyways, I get into this set. I'm on a big ridge top, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful, like timber flat, just, like the pictures you see, beautiful morning, November, the sun's coming up. It's got that about 10 to 12 mile an hour wind. It's perfect. It's beautiful. And, I didn't see anything until about an hour in. And just a couple does, just it would look like a mom and a yearling, just kind of going to bed. They were kind of, how they before they bed, they kind of just mill around for a little while, and they look around to make sure nothing's around, and super calm. They disappear off into the swamp, and I'm just sitting there, kind of really just enjoying the morning. And I see a 6 point. It's hard to explain this. It's very hilly, ridgy in this area. And there's like a point, like of a ridge that kind of comes out, and I'm kind of hunting the edge of it. So I can like see the tip of this like ridge system. And these deer typically work like right around the edge and then go back the other way. It's really weird. But I saw a 6 point, nose down, just like on the trail. You know what I'm saying? Like frantically, like, like just nose down and run, like not jogging, like running.
Urgency.
And I didn't see anything on that trail where this deer was. And so I was just thinking, man, that's crazy. Didn't really think much of it. 15 minutes goes by. And this is not anywhere near where these does really were, the first couple does. Couple minutes goes by, 15 minutes, and I just hear bah, like a low, like a bah, bah, bah. And I'm all of a sudden I'm fully alert. And I look over, and this buck is on the exact same trail as this 6 point. And I didn't even see the rack. But I could hear it was deep. It was a deep, like, bleh.
Yep.
I grabbed the grunt tube, and I'm looking for him. I'm trying to find him. Look in the glass, and I can just through the, the leaves, just barely see like
some time.
I'm like, let's see what happens here. I give a bleh, and all of a sudden he comes out on the edge of this rim. So like if he follows the trail, he's just going to come around the rim and just go back the other way and just disappear. And that's all on the other side of the property too. So I grunt to this deer when I finally can see him. And he like kind of hears me. It was quick. I mean, this is quick because he's almost quartering away, leaving my life, like heading the other way.
Yep.
So I go real loud. He turns and hears me, kind of puts his head down real quick. I had that extinguisher grunt tube. Flip this side to the fawn call.
No kidding.
And I've been practicing like the what do you call it?
Like
the
an
can
estrus
call?
bleat?
Yeah.
Estrus bleat. Yeah.
That's horrible, but you know what I mean?
Estrus bleat, yeah.
So I've been practicing that with the fawn all the way down. And so I hit him with a fawn like estrus bleat. Does that make sense?
I don't think it's a fawn. It's just a doe estrus
I know,
bleat.
but on the call.
Yeah, on the call
it says fawn. I'm just trying to make it as high as possible.
Sure.
So I'm making estrus bleat. He sprints. Like sprints. I pulled him off that trail. So he's coming in like bat, 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 like just hammering.
You probably depending on what he was smelling on that trail, like you may have
confirmed what he was.
Yeah, like you gave him the validity.
I painted a picture, and he comes in hot. I mean, like he comes in, and as he comes in, I'm literally putting my phone on to like record this on Mag Pro, and you're calling me two or three times.
Yeah.
And I'm hitting you off. Like I'm just like, stop calling me. Literally, like the phone was on the Mag Pro as I'm hitting like end.
Yeah.
Like as it like
you're trying to get the camera rolling, and I'm trying to talk to you.
Yeah, like as it's happening.
Yeah, we were in the moment, seconds apart.
Between the estrus bleed and me putting the phone on to press record, like there's 10 seconds between that and when he comes in, and I'm about to tell you what happens, but like you're calling then.
Yeah. So we literally were killing bucks or having an encounter seconds apart in two different counties.
That's right. So I put the phone on, press end, put the phone on, Mag Pro's rolling. I'm like standing up on a hang on. I'm up on a platform. I got my saddle kind of like as my safety harness. If you can picture that, I'm standing straight up. And if you can picture, my back has a big black oak tree. Mm-hmm. This is a split trunk. So like right to my like strong side, my left be my like 9, 10, 11 o'clock. There's another, that's the other trunk. So he's coming in. If he comes in on the left side of that, I got to do the whole thing where I tip my arrow way up in the air, go over and get in between the trunks to shoot left, which I was really hoping he wasn't going to have to do. I was hoping he's going to walk right in front of me. And sure enough, this deer running, like sprinting, frantically searching, running right in front of me at like point blank. I mean,
so you did not have to tip up and spin around.
No, I'm just right in front, and I'm like standing up. I'm like pointing straight down, and I'm full draw. I'm looking through the peep sight at my 20-yard pin. Mm-hmm. Like what dreams? I'm literally, I'm like
on top of this deer.
Like I'm like the haze in the barn. Like I'm thinking like this deer is dead.
Yeah,
dead.
He's in the kill zone.
Yeah, he was right there, and so I was trying not to be too loud, just real quiet, like did it twice. And he's starting to sprint right by me, get to my wind.
Yeah.
And he spooks when I murped him.
Yeah. Because he was right under you.
Oh, he was right under me. And so I think he heard the noise coming from 20 foot up. This is a tall stand too.
Yeah.
So he bounds back to about 18 yards, and I'm right on him. But he's like facing away, almost directly away. Mm-hmm. Butt facing me, head facing the other way. And I'm like right on him at 18. There's 2 trees on each side of him. Mm-hmm. Like not huge trees, but like, you know, what, 3 inch. So I'm playing this out in my mind. I'm full draw. He kind of turns his head to the left, kind of look back. And my pin is like right in the craw of his neck. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know how to explain that any better.
Right where the neck would pivot from the bottom.
At the
body.
fold, yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I honestly to this day, like, I would never take that shot. Mm-hmm. Ever. Like, there's no shot. The deer's facing away from me.
Yeah.
And the arrow just goes off. I'm serious. Like, I really don't know how else to say it. Like, in my mind, I probably convinced myself that I could thread the needle and make that shot right at the neck. And that probably wasn't even a good shot anyway.
Right. But you're just like, what the heck just happened?
I released the arrow and I hit this deer in the butt.
Mm-hmm.
Horrible shot. Mm-hmm. Horrible shot. Like, as soon as I let the arrow like go, it was like almost a subconscious, like, I wasn't rattled. I wasn't frazzed. I was just totally even keeled, ready to kill. He comes in. I make the shot. It buries into his butt, and I'm just thinking,
what did I just do?
What was that? Mm-hmm. It was just like, what were you doing? Mm-hmm. And I immediately get on this Deercast app. I think I called you first, and you were like freaked out. And I was super happy. I'm like, oh my God, we almost doubled. And, but it was a weird moment because I was like really
trying to be happy for me, but also pissed off at what just happened with you.
Well, I was worried for this deer. I mean, he's a really good deer. Mm-hmm. I was like, man, I'm like, that's not ethical. That's just not.
Was he an 8 or a 10 point?
He was an 8.
Nice.
But I think he was a good
deer.
Good deer. And so anyway, not to drag this out too terribly long on the story, but you know, you call or I call you, tell you what happened. and you were freaking out and you're like, it's my best deer with a bow. He's down in sight. And I'm just thinking, that's awesome. And at the same time, I'm thinking like, in the back of my mind, I'm just like, what do I do?
Mm-hmm.
I definitely am. Like, I kind of decided like, I'm definitely getting out of here. I'm not going to sit all day anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go help you recover this animal because this is a great deer. It's down. I want to be there, support you, do the whole thing, do the recovery. I'm like, I got to let this deer lie. After I was on the DeerCast app, and you can like basically pinpoint like, where did you shoot? It shows you some different videos of other hunts that had happened, and they tell you what they personally think about the recovery. Mm-hmm. And I was hoping that I got all the way up into the vitals, mm-hmm. and it like buried into his guts, and like it's a fatal shot, mm-hmm. but it's just going to take a long time for him to die. But all the videos I was seeing on there, when people shoot them in the butt, it's like they hit the femoral artery, mm-hmm. and they die in seconds. Mm-hmm. And so I'm seeing all these videos saying like, oh, he'll die quick. I'm just thinking, really? And he runs off basically on that same trail and just disappears really quick. Sprint away, and I couldn't see him after about 100 yards. Didn't really know much. Didn't look super injured. So I called a good friend of mine who has a dog. Mm-hmm. We make a plan like, hey, we're going to go back in there tomorrow morning, 24 hours later. Let him sit. So I call the neighbors, get permission to go in there in the morning. We go do the recovery, which was awesome. It was an awesome deer.
On my deer.
Yep.
Yeah.
We had a great time, mm-hmm. and went back in the next morning. That following morning was a Sunday, and it was when it snowed really hard. Mm-hmm. Remember that?
I do.
And my dad and I were planning to go that day. We had that day circled because it was going to be super. I mean, I thought that was going to be the best day of the year.
The 9th.
You know,
I think, right?
It was been the 9th. And so we go that morning, and I go kind of back to this area similar to where I'd shot this buck the morning before, but not the same spot really. My dad's sitting in the front, and we get snowed on.
It was like wet mashed potato snow too.
It was bad. And I was worried like I was a dog gonna have issues with this
trail
snow. I mean, it's a pretty good amount of snow, like, I don't know, 3-4 inches. Mm-hmm. But like you said, it's like that wet compounding snowfall. Mm-hmm. And we froze our butts off, man. I didn't see a single deer. We probably should have stuck it out and sat all day that day, because after it stopped snowing at about noon, it would have probably got hot. But mm-hmm. we had that guy coming at 9:30, and he couldn't have came a second earlier because it was cold. I was ready to get down at like 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So we get down. He's got a bloodhound. It's a bloodhound. And we get over to this. He's like, just take me where the dog, where the deer was standing. The dog will do the rest. So we get over there. And I'm asking him all these.
He just has all the confidence in his dog.
Well, he's like, he's got a GPS collar on it, and it's like, I felt horrible. I showed this guy this video, and I'm like, this really doesn't represent the kind of hunter I am. Like, I don't even know how to like qualify what happened yesterday, but it happened, and I feel like we owe it to this deer to, like, we have to try mm-hmm. to find this deer. And I'm just sick with myself really the whole time. And I'm thinking, basically, this GPS collar, he's like, you can tell real quick based on how the dog, like, is he going back and forth, mm-hmm. back and forth, really struggling, or is he like just pinned on
trail?
It?
Yeah.
And he's like, take me to the spot. So I'm like, this is the deer. We're standing right there because I got it on video. This dog just takes off. Just takes off. And he goes, oh, she's like, she's on it right now. She's on the trail. Like, we're following it. And it just,
what was her name?
It was something like something really interesting. I've never heard the name. It kind of sounded like I can't remember. It was something really weird. But anyway, this dog takes off, and it's snowing. Like, its snow accumulation was crazy. Mm-hmm. But what these dogs are smelling is a stress hormone in basically in between the dew claw there and their hoof. They have a gland. And a specific deer has a specific gland smell. And so these dogs can smell. And when it's an injured deer, they give off a stress hormone, and it's like real easy for these dogs. But this dog just takes off. And so here we go. Me and my dad following this gentleman. And we get into this trail. We're about a mile in, like a good hour in. We're just walking slowly in the snow. And All of a sudden, we look down and there's a bunch of blood underneath the snow, like unmistakable. Like the dog's walking. We're kind of like following the dog's trail. And we're, when somebody walks on a previously blood-soaked leaf, like you can just see red blood. And we're a mile in, and I'm just thinking there's no way we're on this deer's trail. Going all over hell. Like, it was just like, you didn't feel any confidence. And all of a sudden we see a bunch of blood on the ground. And I'm just like, you're kidding me. And that guy goes, oh, this dog's on it. And he's super confident. And I'm just like, I'm blown away right now. We're a mile in. So we get 2 miles in. And as we're talking, this guy and I,
2 miles.
2 miles. We're both kind of starting to think the same thing. Like, this deer might not be. But I asked him earlier, like, when this dog like goes up to finds a deer, like, does he bark? Does it, like, what's it do? Like, how do we know, like, we're close? Does he start like getting excited? Sometimes they do that. And he goes, no, what she's actually been doing is just coming back and looking at me like what's next? And so we're really far in. We're almost 2 miles in now. And there's this big cattail marsh around the neighbors. We're way off. Big cattail marsh, completely encompassed by standing corn. And this dog,
it feels like we're at Buckwood.
And we get close to this road. It's like edging the trail, the side of like the cornfield, just going on right at the edge of the field. And it's getting close to the road. And I'm like, if it goes over the road, we don't have permission over there. And I don't know who owns it. Like, that's going to be the jig's up. Like, I told the guy. All of a sudden, right before the road, this thing turns right and goes into the center of this huge swamp.
Marsh, yeah.
And I'm like, huh. And he's kind of like the gentleman's demeanor kind of changed. This dog goes straight into the cattail marsh. And we're finding blood pretty consistently now.
Really?
And we get in there and the dog just comes right back out and looks at us. And the guy looks at me and he goes, let's go see what we got here. And I'm just thinking, absolutely no chance. Like, no, I'm thinking in my mind, like, this dog just found this deer. It makes perfect sense for it to die. 2 miles in, big swamp.
No way it wasn't.
Super secluded. Like, this is where this is where
the buck would die.
100%. And we get in there, and there's a bunch of beds where there's a bunch of blood. And we both, like, were really, really confident. And the dog's, like, all in there, searching around. And all of a sudden, like, it just dried up. Like, the dog couldn't find out where it was, but it was, like, very obviously laying in the center of this. And so I'm like grid searching, even though the dog's kind of like trying to find, I mean, he was intently looking for the next trail. Like, this dog is super, super, super good at what it does. Yeah. And he's searching the edge of this where it encompasses the corn and trying to find where it went to the corn potentially. And we sat there for a good hour letting the dog work. And I was grid searching the entire swamp, looking up on logs, like trying to just find it. Couldn't find it. And so we both kind of came to the conclusion, like, this deer's going to live. And we probably didn't get up into the cavity, because if it would have just laid down and died. So pretty tough pill to swallow.
Yeah.
I hate doing those big, crazy, wild goose chase type hunt but it's like you owe it to that animal. You have to call the neighbors. Hey, I injured a deer. Like, I hate doing that. I've done it too many times, but like, I just felt like if there's any chance, have to pursue it. So that was a big letdown. And you're tagged out, and I'm thinking that's the 7th, 8th, 9th of November gone. And so I was kind of down.
You said it too. You said after that, you're like, these next couple days, historically for me, the hunting gets really tough.
Oh, it does.
Because they're locked down, and I struggle to get on good deer the second week of November.
10 through 15, which is our gun opener. It's really hard for me to see deer. And it has a lot to do with, I think, the properties that you're hunting.
Sure.
Like, if you're in a real thick area, like, there's probably lots of does in there that are getting bred. But like, if you're hunting field edges, like, you're kind of screwed. You really are. If you have an open timber flat, like, you're screwed.
Yeah.
They're not going to just be in there.
Right.
Big bucks aren't going to just be in the middle of the timber unless it's real lucky thing with a hot doe in there. But like typically they all go into the thick stuff and they shag and then they, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's what happens.
I do.
So I'm just thinking to myself, like,
just got a lot harder.
I missed one, shot under it, and then
the one you missed was on like the 6th or something, right?
Something like that. Yeah, I think it was the 6th. I didn't feel bad about that one. It was just a missed opportunity, but no,
it wasn't the 6th.
I shot under him, right? I mean,
4th or 5th.
Misjudged the distance. I was full draw. Instead of letting down and ranging, I'm like, he's got to be at 28. He's at 35. What do you do? So I was kind of over that, but the miss where I injured the deer, like that's just a kick right in the nads. So I felt bad. You're tagged out, and I'm like, here we go. Like I remember feeling like it's the grind now. And it's officially past like the Moment Series date of like November 1 through November 9th, which is what we kind of set out, like trying to get it done. So this is basically the second week, the start of the second week. And I was struggling. Like I wasn't seeing a lot of deer. I can't remember exactly what happened on the 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th.
There was a lot of days where you were having
skunks,
pretty poor sits. Like see a doe or a yearling or no deer.
Pretty tough.
And you were bopping around to different properties too.
Oh, I was all over multiple counties, like trying to go to where I thought.
Like I sent you to one of my best spots and like you sent me a video back. They're like ripping 4-wheelers and shooting guns like right next to where you were.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dang, that sucks.
One day, I can't remember what day this was. It was I think this was the 11th. This is notable. This is absolutely notable. This was Monday, the 10th. Early morning, one of the coldest days of the year, is 20 degrees with wind chill of like 8 or 9. Humming. I mean, the humming wind, it was 15 miles an hour. And Monday morning, I go sit on the creek line where you'd shot your buck. You're like, you got to go in there. There's bucks everywhere. You might get one in there. And get in there early, about an hour, maybe 45 minutes before daylight. It was the single coldest day. Like it was this single.
It literally was a wind chill of like 8.
Big open vast swamp with no trees, and there's a couple of trees that we're hunting in, and the wind is just peppering my tailgate. I'm telling you, dude, the wind is peppering my tailgate. It was 8:40 and I couldn't do it. 8:40 in the morning, hunted for an hour. And I was convinced that like if a deer came at 20 yards, stood broadside, like I don't think I could have shot it. I'm not kidding. I'm not even slightly joking. Like I don't think I could have pulled my bow back to get the deer killed. Standing in 20 yards broadside looking the other direction. I don't think I could have done it. So it took me 45 minutes almost to get out of there. Like I was going down a step, my fingers, I couldn't feel my fingers. My toes were gone. Like I was just trying to like safely get down and walk back in. And I ended up going back and trying to sit into one of the box blinds up by the house closer. And it was so cold even in the box blind. I'm like, I'm calling it for the day.
What was interesting is the timing of that snow.
Yeah.
We got really cold weather and we got a decent amount of snow. And we don't usually get snow at that time of the year. I think even the deer were like, damn, already? Like they were like, I think they were caught off guard by the snow and the cold too. And this swamp system, the thing I hadn't really considered or thought about that you told me, all this wet, heavy snow knocked down a lot of the natural security cover that this swamp grass and canary grass and just the different stuff out there that they like to hide behind, like that big wet heavy snow, and it knocked all that down. So there wasn't a lot of reason for them to be in the same spots because there's no security cover.
Yeah, so, like that. What makes that specific area good is like you can run at them, and there's a decent amount of cover, tall grass, where they have to come back and check it out. But now that it's open, it's like
they can just see everywhere.
There's really no reason for them to go over there unless there's a hot doe, which is like
that's right.
Spinning a wheel.
You're just playing the luck game.
Yeah. So that was tough. That was on the 10th, and I just like you said, I was having like multiple really really tough hunts,
yeah.
like just seen a couple of deer the whole sit.
I think it's important to qualify at this point too. Like we said this earlier in the season, but our wives both just had babies. We knew our hunting this year was likely going to be less than it's ever been. And there's just a level of, I don't want to use the word guilt, but like when you're taking time to be out in the tree stand away from your wife and she's home with a new baby and other kids, like that's not the easiest thing in the world. And so like when you're out there day in and day out and you're putting in the time and you're having really poor sits and you just feel like you're not even in the game, you're like, what am I doing right now?
Well, I mean, just to even give it more detail than people probably need, but my wife would probably prefer I hunt the morning because like it's like me going to work anyway. Mm-hmm. But when I'm gone in the evening and the morning, like, and the kids don't get to really see me, and she has to put both kids to bed, like that's the hard thing, putting the kids down to sleep. Mm-hmm. And I'm hunting out of the county and an hour away, and it gets dark at 6 o'clock, and I'm driving home like right about when everything's done. Yeah, and my wife's sitting there like she just got pulled through a knothole. You know what I mean? Like she's just feeling like, thanks for your help, you know. And after 2 weeks of that, it's like, damn. Yeah. Anyway, so literally the 15th is the gun opener. Mm-hmm. The 14th, the day before, like I had a bunch of things I needed to get done. I'm building the house. Like I had to meet some people. I had like a lot of things I had to get done, like had to.
I don't even know if we've fully talked about that yet. That's a separate podcast. But
yeah, I'm building a house and like I'm general contracting it. So I'm like, I got a lot of things happening. I got a lot of sticks in the fire and I'm like putting everything off. I got a scraggly beard. Like I smell like I haven't showered I have not taken care of myself. Like I'm neglecting all my emails. Like I'm hunting. Like I'm trying to get it done. Like I'm out hunting. And so
I think you did have a scraggly beard. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Why'd you get rid of that one?
Because I finally, yeah. So guys, I hate to do this to you, but we're going to make this a 2-parter.
Oh, he's going to do it like that.
I want you guys to come back for the next episode, and we're going to tell you a pretty good couple of tales here. So come back for the next episode and the final episode of the Moment series for 2025.